Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine. I'm returning with a band that I've featured twice on the Now Spinning Magazine website and YouTube channel and on social media as well. The band is Blood Incantation. They're a death metal band from Denver in Colorado. And death metal is something I don't feature that often on the website, although I have a lot of it in my collection. But this band are different. My entry point to this band was Hidden History of the Human Race, which I featured, and it is absolutely phenomenal. The next one, Time Wave Zero, was almost the band channeling Tangerine Dream. And this new one, which is Absolute Elsewhere, which I have on CD this time, is their best yet. This is just 2 tracks, but those of you who are fans of this band will think, yeah, that is what they do. And it is what they do. I found some blurb online which kind of describes their approach to music, where it says they are basically, it's a sci-fi epic about the history battle for the human consciousness itself via a 70s progressive rock album played by a 90s death metal band from the future. I love this band because they use the growls as like an extra instrument within their arsenal of artistic colours and palettes that they use to pull the music together. And I mentioned the Tangerine Dream kind of aspect of it because that is here as well. The band is made up of Paul Rodel. I'm probably pronouncing these names wrong, so I'm sorry, Paul. Isaac Falk on drums and gongs, percussion, additional guitars and mellotron. He's a very talented guy. Morris Kolosky, lead rhythm acoustic guitars, and Jeff Barrett acoustic electric guitars. And I forgot to say Paul is vocals, lead acoustic guitars, synthesizers. Now, I also want to point this out as well because this is something that's important. I can find it all. Music by Rodel and Kvetsky with contributions by Falk and Barrett. These guys are incredible. Now, the first track, which is, just looking at I should know, there's only 2 tracks on it. The Stargate, 20 minutes and 20 seconds long. It starts with extreme metal, just progressive metal. There was growls coming up from underneath the floorboards of wherever you're living and from the basement of your home. But then, and you start thinking, right, this is where this band is going to go. And this is what I've said before when I've reviewed them. At about 2 minutes and 4 seconds in, very precise, it drops back to simple guitars and synths, offbeat drums, ambient, almost spacious funk in places. Yeah, literally. If you'd walked into the room at the start and thought, oh, I know what this is, and then popped out to pop to the loo and you came back 2 minutes later, you'd think, someone's put something else on. They haven't. And about 4.5 minutes in to the first track, we are in a world of Camel and Tangerine Dream and an incredibly Pink Floyd Dave Gilmour guitar solo floating over the top of this. It is absolutely fantabulous, I have to say. And then at 5 minutes 38 seconds in, I'll stop being so precise in a minute, death metal returns. This is like full-on Opeth and Metallica, but proper. A lot of I love Opeth, by the way, and I should feature them more as well. But their guitar riffs are kind of, well, they're from the 90s. Those of you who go back long enough will know what I mean when I say that. But this band's guitar riffs are from the 70s and 80s. So although we have this kind of onslaught, this avalanche of sound, when the riffs come in, they are from a different era. As they say, they're a death metal band from the 90s, channeling the 70s, really. The riffs are great. The drumming on this album is insane. Because the other thing, the drumming, the double bass drums or whatever, is so fast that normally what happens in this kind of music is the guitars and everything else follows that pattern. It doesn't here. You have really lush melodies floating on the top of this absolutely manic drumming. It's absolutely incredible. There's some great riffs as we move through. We're about, where am I on my map here of listening to this first track? I think I was about 6-7 minutes in. Absolutely incredible. And then on the CD, although there are only 2 tracks, the tracks are split. So after about the 7-8 minute mark, we move into a Tangerine Dream type feel, synthesizers, wonderful sequencing, kind of really dreamy. This spoken word, this mellotron. I love mellotron. It's almost Rubicon by Tangerine Dream, but with acoustic guitars floating in and out of the soundscape. Absolutely beautiful. There's even, obviously, it's probably synth, but this flute. So we're talking real 70s prog here. And then the guitars, they scream. It's just, again, this wave of sound. There's even a bit of Sendelica, who are a band I absolutely adore from here in the UK. And then we're into some serious Sabbath riffage, and we're back to the death metal. Then there's kind of, it's almost like an Eastern Black Sabbath. The kind of snake charmer thing that Blackmore would do, but it's like East. I'm using a very broad brushstroke here, but this is absolutely fantastic. And then we're going to this. The growls come back, but the growls are used, as I said at the start, as instrumentation, stomping metal riffs, wonderful kind of intricate guitar playing, lots of really fast but sequenced, feels like, repetitive kind of sequence of notes. Absolutely superb. Absolutely. That is basically, in a kind of nutshell, the first track. So I guess for those of you who got the vinyl version, which I still might get as I've got the others, you now spin over onto side 2 for, I'll have to just check because my memory's like that, The Message, which is longer, 23 minutes and 23 seconds. Now this one, when this starts, and this is why I love this band, and I hope I can talk to them on the podcast, because I just think that it'd be wonderful to find out what the hell is going on under the bonnet, or how these guys got together. This is almost jazz fusion. This is jazz rock from that kind of period of the 70s. It's got that kind of feel. And then a flick of a switch, we are into extreme death metal, growling, all the rest of it. But it isn't a jarring move. And when I talk about these different styles of music that the band are kind of diving in and out of, it works. It's an endless flow of creative and musical energy. It really is. Then we pull back and it becomes really gentle, although the drumming isn't. It's relentless, but not in your face. It kind of blends back into the background. The music is melodic, and there is an absolutely stunning guitar solo at this point. And then we're talking about some monster riffs. I mean, real monster riffs. Really, I mean, can the drumming get more intense, is what I put in my notes here. And then growls from hell, but not grating growl. There's some bands that when they do this, it just leaves me cold. But this is warm. It's so well in the mix that it's just part of the musical soundscape, really. And then there are basically killer riff after killer riff. Some of them are quite funky, quite static. And then we have this Tangerine Dream jazz section from the 70s. It's a bit like Soft Machine with Alan Holdsworth. Seriously. Some great rock guitar playing, some great kind of stop-start funky guitar riffs in a way. It falls back into being Pink Floyd. I mean, but early Pink Floyd. We're talking like Saucer Full of Secrets, Pink Floyd, Obscured by Clouds, Pink Floyd, that kind of sound. I'm sitting there with my classically trained violinist wife listening to this for the first run through. And obviously when the growling starts, she said, what is this? But by the time we reach this point, she's completely into it. Sue was going, this is really good, isn't it? It's like, it's really intricate. It's really clever. It's like, what would happen if the Mahavishnu Orchestra had met a death metal band, if such a thing existed back then, and had morphed, mutated? Because there are elements of what would happen if jazz fusion musicians just went for it with this kind of approach. It wouldn't be far off, you know. It wouldn't be far off at all. Then we're into a kind of real power riffs. There's a kind of almost Iron Maiden, Metallica, death psychedelica. Psychedelica, is that a thing? It is now. And then there's like kind of like flutes, vocals. It's soft. It even turns into something like from the Moody Blues. Is this guy for real? Is this band for real? And then there's more death riffage, really proper rock guitar riffs, and it gallops towards the end with just epic. There's an epic ending, and it's almost ambient at the end. And the only way to finish this album is with rain and storms and the sound and nature sounds as we just drift and come out of the other side. Blood Incantation. Not only do they have the most extreme band logo you've ever seen, they are a band that deserves to be listened to and explored. If some of you think, oh, death metal, this covers so many things, listen to it. You will like this. Anyone who likes Opeth, just get to the head of the queue and get this. I know there's a new Opeth album coming out soon, but it won't be. It'll be great. But to have to kind of roll through so many different genres, and members of Tangerine Dream are on the album as well. And it's well worth a listen. I'm over the moon about it. I really am, because I thought the others were good. The last one was obviously they went down the Tangerine Dream route. This one, they've kind of brought their whole entire personalities together. So well done, guys. Absolute Elsewhere by Blood Incantation. And I hope I can talk to the guys soon. But thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Take care. Please subscribe, ring that little bell, become a Patreon YouTube member. Keep spinning those discs, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.